Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast. This is Selic, and as you can see, I have finished my volcano. And as I finished building up, I also finished hollowing out. I have essentially followed the outermost boundary of the volcano, and then dug straight down. And I feel like I've made some pretty good progress. I moved back this way a little bit. And yeah, so I think it's looking pretty good. That's all that remains of the original volcano inside here. Here you can see my first island, hanging island prototype. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm not 100% on these chains yet, but I want to look at some different ones as well. But I think they look pretty cool. And I just threw some grass down to give an idea of the size and what kind of room the chains would take up. So yeah, it's actually been pretty interesting trying to hollow this out and shape it. Most of the work was done by the handy-dandy mining turtle here through excavation. And then I was using the mining laser, and I was trying a couple different settings. I tried long range, where you can sort of either blast up as you go, or you can blast down as you fall. And that's nice. The cobble and whatnot ends up at the bottom of your little area that you're blasting out. But I also found that I really enjoyed the low focus. And what you can do with the low focus is, let's see. You can just stand here and hold down the right mouse button, and you will collect all of your cobble and whatnot as you go down. And that's nice when you're working up really high. I enjoy that, using that quite a bit. So yeah, this mining laser is pretty cool. Oh yeah, and I have a pet zombie. You will never despawn. You are mine. So yeah, and I cut into my slime spawner just a little bit, and eventually I think I'm gonna hollow this out because the ground is about here for the front. Well, you can see there's the front, but it starts to rise up as we go. So I believe I'll be able to cut into this section and this section. You see I've actually already been cutting into this section a little bit. I'll be able to cut into it a little bit more as well as this. And then I still have plans to hollow out back this direction some more as well. But for today's episode, I wanted to work on making some sustainable food. Originally, the idea was to use the feeder. A number of episodes ago, I made a feeder and stuck it there with my cows on top and threw some wheat in it. The interesting thing about the feeder is that as it breeds the animals, it does it fine automatically. But if the population of the animals around it gets too large, it will actually cause the animals to despawn. And so it was actually causing some confusion. I would see it, working away, and I'd come back and there were actually fewer cows than when I left. And I'm like, that's not right. And so I finally read somewhere that it actually despawns the cows. And so actually I was pretty bummed about that. I was sort of disappointed to know that it would do that. So I'm looking for a new way to do that. And to do that, I'm going to use a soul shard. It's sort of weird to think about eating cow food that you don't breed yourself. That's sort of a new way of thinking of it, but that's okay. So I wanted to show you today my idea. Let me get rid of this. My wall of cobble has also grown quite a bit. Oh yeah, and I'm going to show you this as well. Quite a bit more of the basalt, the bath salt rock that is my favorite. And I was also doing a little bit of mossy cobble. Uh-oh. Completely out of backpack, jetpack, whatever it's called. So what I want to show you is I have a fresh one. Yay. What I would like to show you is what I want to do to be able to control the the soul shard, the soul cage, how we want it to be controlled. So if you are a first time, this is just like an FYI, if you're a first time soul cage user, soul spawner user, don't forget to power it before you put in something. Cows, it's not that big of a deal. But when you get skeletons or creepers or wither skeletons or something, yeah, make sure it's powered first. Not that I've made that mistake. Anyways, so we're going to talk about controlling the time that this thing spawns. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to set up a simple timer latch. Now to do this, we're going to use 2 components from Red Power 2. That is the toggle latch and the timer. So the toggle latch, I'll just throw that down here, it powers either side. So you see it's powered and you can just switch it back and forth. And the way you can change this is by sending a redstone signal either to the left or to the right here. And the other thing is the timer. You've probably seen this before. It just sits and pulses each time. And the interesting thing about the timer is if you provide a redstone signal to the left, right, or back, it will actually lock the timer in place pointing at this post and not with no redstone signal coming from it. So we're going to use those 2 things to make a, we'll do this here and here, that'll work. And so we're going to throw the toggle latch here, and then we'll throw the timer down. Oh, it already popped in. There. So now this is going to provide us with a sustained off signal and a sustained positive signal. So using the, well, this was a fail. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, now this is actually receiving a redstone signal. So we'll throw this in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my safety switch back on for now. On. So if you want a sustainable power, you can go out this direction. Sustainable off is this direction. So what you can do then is provide a signal here. And what that will do, oh, you know what, let's do this. I don't want cows spawning just yet. So yeah, what that was powering this so it wouldn't unlock. So you provide it with a pulse, and it will go around, and then when it hits this again, it will switch the toggle back and lock this in place. So what we will want to do is, at some point, we will want to, I don't know how long this will take to spawn the cows that we want, but simulating a button press here, we can set this up to go as long as we want and have as many cows as we want to spawn. So, yeah, it's pretty simple, but what I'm going to use is one of my favorite devices, the wireless receiver and transmitter. We'll set this to channel 1. There are, I believe, 5,000 channels that you can choose from, which of course is nice. Let's back you up just a little bit. It's nice when you're on a server. Alright. So now we can simulate a button press, and you see the timer goes for us, and depowers what would be the cow spawner here. And so I'm going to be setting that up. You know, I've debated about how I want to do it. I think what I'm going to end up doing is let's just go ahead and do it. Let's set up a cow spawner. I'll use some dirt and some grass. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hide this thing away. We're going to hide away the contraption here. So all we will see is beef cooking. So we'll set up a lava blade and whatnot. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm hesitant to set up permanent things because the state of the volcano I feel like is in flux all the time. So I'm never really sure where I want something positioned. Obviously I figured out where I want my grass. And because, you know, as far as I know, I might even move this. As a matter of fact, I'm actually even considering changing how I do this. And And so yeah, that I've been mulling it around. Maybe a future episode we will look at some alternative means to harvesting the sugar cane. So yeah, I'm gonna set up a place for us to do. Looks like a good spot. I'm gonna set up a bit of a cow spawner, and we will look into how we will flush these guys and cook them. Okay, I have made some progress here. Let me show you what I am thinking. Because the spawner is a fairly, I would say, persistent thing. It doesn't really. I mean, if it only spawned one cow at a time, eventually you would get everything you needed quite easily. Because, well, obviously it just keeps going. So we don't need a massive spawning area. So right now I'm going to try a 5x5. So what we will need is some signs. Take one more. Yeah. And that should stop the water from flowing. Okay. Now, the next part of it is going to be adding, let's see, we need to add a piece of ice here. And then we need to seal this off, and I will use my smooth stone. There we go. And I can't get in. Alright, now let's break this bad boy. Okay. Now you need to come up one block. This is where our wire is going to be run down below. Okay. Oop. And there went the torches. Okay, that's what I wanted right there. So, and there we go. So we should be able to, sorry, torches again. Don't want it to be too dark. So we're going to send them this direction up to here and down to our cooker. Now, the only thing I'm a little concerned about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a redstone torch underneath here and give this thing a signal, a brief signal, so that it will pulse for a very, very limited time. You know, now that I think about it, I might just use, yeah, I might do that. I'm trying to think. I could actually use a timer because it will pulse twice. Well, I'll keep pulsing, won't it? Wait, I'm going to have to think about that. Normally what you would do is you'd stick a redstone torch underneath here and give this a button press, and then it would turn off and then on again. Sorry, it would spit out the lava and then retract it. And that's probably what we will do. And then everything should go into this obsidian pipe, which we will then pump back this direction to probably put a chest here. Yeah, it'll come back down this direction, and then we can put a chest there. So I'm going to make a little more progress on this, and then we will hopefully be able to test it out quickly. We have done it. It's not very pretty, but it will definitely work. So, can I get up here? All right. So yeah, the soul cage is just below this, so it is now powered. And we're going to go ahead and we'll see here. I've actually had some world crashes. I had one spawn already. I've had some world crashes if you right-click it with something that's not your hand. So let's get rid of that. Perhaps that's going to catch it again, isn't it? Go away. Okay. So let's set this guy to 15 seconds. That sounds great. So now I set up and through the hole. Okay, we'll go this way. I set up 2 buttons, one for the activation of the timer and one for the activation of the lava, which we need to go put in a bucket in there. I've already ran out of my jetpack. And this one. Okay. So now I need to grab lava. Which, there we go. And we should be able to test it. Oh yeah, and I put just your standard half slab, well, this is in the way, but half slab, block, water, pusher. And so, let's open this guy up. Let the water come through. Yeah. And we should probably put another block here for safety's sake. Don't want any cows escaping. And here we go. I can't see. Still can't see. There we go. Okay. Very nice. And now what I'm thinking I would like to do is have, eventually it'd be nice to have this be a one button. Okay, I guess that was it. Oops. A one button press. So we will set up a timer for something 15 seconds plus a pulse. Okay, so they are all there now. Let's see if we can cook them. I hear cooking. Woohoo! I put a little gold pipe down there. I should probably put another one. That's not too bad, though. Yeah, I definitely think I need to increase... Oh, it's like, what? Yeah, I would call it a success. We definitely need to increase the time. And I need to patch this up so it's not so cobbly looking. Do that real quick. And I want to have a mixture of things that are hidden, but also, so you don't get one, but you do. Have, hidden gems like this where, for all we know, we just automatically get, food. And there's some things that I definitely want to show. So let me get back in here real quick. I want to make sure I've patched everything up. So I'm going to do that, and then we will... I think I'm going to give it one more test run. I want to see if I can get another... What it's going to take to get a stack of food. See, that was 15 seconds, right? And we got 13. So let's quadruple that. And we'll see how that does. So yeah, I'm going to sort of patch things up here, and then we will take a look at what a quadruple cow amount looks like. Alright, I'm just patching things up here. And I need to go... I'm going to go in and light power this gold pipe down here. That will make it go faster. And there we go. Yep. And fill this back in. Use some smooth stone. Make it look a little bit nicer. Right? Nope. There we go. And we can go dirt in here. Yeah, it's okay. Can I stick something right there? Yeah. That's much better. Okay. So this is the make 'em button. Make 'em. And cook 'em. Okay, so yeah, triple 15 is a minute. So let's do that and go. It's sort of boring looking. Probably want to do something different. I might. Yeah, we'll see. This is just a prototype. I never like to do anything final on my first try, or think too finally about it on my first try in Minecraft. Normally, things that I do, take prototypes, and I try some things, and then I'll stop and undo it and redo it. As you see, I have multiple prototypes sitting around. This is a prototype. And yeah, you never want to be too afraid to undo something that you do in Minecraft. It's not a big deal if you have to start over again. Yeah, the big thing I can tell you right now that's not so good about this is, how do you know when it's done? So it would be good to either have a window or be able to just have it all happen automatically for you. We'll go ahead and assume that they're all finished. I like watching the pipes work. I don't know why. Ooh, much better. Yeah, power in the gold pipe helped a lot. Lots of cooked beef. That's a big stack right there. 15. Ooh, here comes some more even. So we had 13 to start with, I believe. That was weird. Okay. 35. 35. Well, that's fine for now. We can fine-tune it a little more later. But we have our new segment that I started last episode, our desert island things. We're going to go to our next desert island topic. All right, we are here on our small little desert island, and today's topic is movies. Now, I want to thank all of you that responded last episode. It was very cool to see some of the different tastes that you guys have in music. We have a very varied bunch of folks that are watching these videos, and so yeah, I appreciate hearing from you guys and hearing about. I was checking out some of the music that I'd never heard of before, which is very cool. I'm always looking for new music. So again, thank you guys for that. Now, as far as movies are concerned, when you think of taking something with you on a desert island, you're thinking about something that's probably going to make you laugh or make you happy, make you excited, maybe make you inspired, because, you know, who wants to take a depressing movie with you on the desert island that you're probably going to die on? Sounds sort of gloomy. So I was thinking about that. Do I want to take something that makes me laugh the hardest? Do I want to take something that, you know, the movie that you went back and saw many times in the theater? For that one, I was thinking about Matrix. I saw Matrix, the first Matrix, probably, man, 3 or 4 times, because all my friends wanted to go at different times. And one of the cool things about the Matrix was, for its time, you know, you had never seen anything like that when you went into the theater. It was just incredible to go and see the visual effects that those guys did. Just a really, really cool movie and a cool story. You know, I also think about things like the original Star Wars. I think it's a great story. And I'm talking about the original one. Han shot first. Everyone knows that. You can't rewrite history, even fictional history. And, you know, that was the movie that I picked. I think if I'm going to be on a desert island, I'm going to pick a movie that I enjoyed watching growing up. I enjoy the story. You know, as a kid, if you were into Star Wars at all, and maybe even as an adult, you were trying to, you know, you would see Luke or whomever use the Force, and you're like, I want to use the Force too. I want a lightsaber, you know. For all of its blemishes, after Phantom Menace came out, you know, everyone wanted to have a dual lightsaber and jump around like a Jedi ninja or something. Those stories and the special effects, it affects people and makes them want to be something they're not. And I think that's really cool about movies. So, yeah, what's your favorite movie? You know, is it... Maybe you grew up on John Wayne or something. I don't know. What is it that you... What is the one movie that you would really want to have? Oh, and by the way, if you pick something like Lord of the Rings, I think it's okay if you pick the trilogy. Just saying. I don't know that I necessarily would want Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, even though it's sort of a trilogy, even though I love both movies. But for my one movie, Star Wars is it. And I love it. So anyways... I'd love to hear from you guys, and look forward to reading the comments. and I will see you guys again next time.